Welcome to Teller Time with Thom and Charlie, broadcasting from the Pikes Peak Community Center, perched at the crossroads of Highway 24 and 67, where stories rise and community roots run deep. We're proudly sponsored by the Ute Pass Historical Society, and we're here to spotlight the voices, victories, and vibrant spirit of Teller County. Like the northern lights that were quite visible the last few nights and dancing across a quiet sky, our stories shimmer with wonder, unexpected, unforgettable, and full of color. And I'm not sure what was more breathtaking the last couple nights, either the sunrises up here or the northern lights. I mean, it was quite spectacular. Unfortunately, I'm in the Springs. I couldn't see the northern lights, but Charlie, I'm sure where you were living, you were able to see some gorgeous lighting.
Oh yeah, man, you have no idea. Actually, my wife Peggy took an amazing picture, and the cool part about those northern lights, especially north and divide where it's really dark, these stars came through the red in the horizon. It was just spectacular. Yeah.
So that's again one of the many things that's gorgeous and wonderful about being here in Colorado. All right, so settle in, tune up, and let the vibe from our voices guide you. This is Teller Time. Our guest for today blends education with modern vision. She is none other than Gwynn Pekron, Headmaster of Merit Academy, located right here in Woodland Park. She champions logic, creativity, and hands-on learning, where chessboards and Rubik's Cubes share space with CMAS excellence and community pride. She's the kind of leader who makes learning feel like a movement and every student feel like a masterpiece in progress. Well, hi there, Gwynn, and good morning, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and thank you for the warm welcome.
That is me. That is a little bit of AI. So, I was almost going to call you a headmistress, but I didn't think that would be very appropriate.
Wow. I get people from England who do that, and that's why I stick with master.
Okay. Well, master kind of has its own.
I know. CEO, I don't know. Call me what you want. I'm okay.
All right. So I talked about Rubik's Cube and CMAS. What does CMAS stand for?
Colorado Measure of Academic Standards.
Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that and why that's so important to Merit?
So that's actually the statewide assessment that is provided every year in April. And it goes, every public school takes those tests. It's from 3rd through 8th grade. And they measure the academic standards by which everything is developed for education. So all the schools have to hit these standards. And much of it is reading, writing, and math. Okay. Those are the core focuses. There are some grades that also take science and history. But that is upon which all of our performance frameworks and grades and so forth from the state come.
So how does Merit stand in regards to maybe, again, I don't want to get too political, but in regards to other schools here, other schools in the Springs perhaps?
Our CMAS scores were pretty significant. I think we were, I'm trying not to mix up my CMAS scores and the performance frameworks, which includes CMAS along with other things. But we were pretty top of the line as far as our assessments go. And the wonderful thing about the performance frameworks, which includes the CMAS scores, is it also discusses growth and post-secondary readiness and things like that. And so it culminates not just CMAS, but everything else that coincides with it. So it gives you a broader picture of how the school is doing. And for us, we were ranked on the performance frameworks 5th out of all K through 12 schools, and I believe there were 94 of them in the state. And we were, I think, we were top 6% for all schools. Very nice. K through 12.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So Merit's been up here in Woodland Park for now how many years?
This is our 5th year.
Okay. And I know you have some really incredible programs that outshine, some of the schools and everything, because you are a charter school, correct?
We are, and we incorporate programs that we think a lot of our students have asked for and parents want to see that coincide with our vision and mission and so forth.
Let's hear a little bit about some of the different programs that you have, because I know it's pretty spectacular. I wish I had had them when I was going to school.
Yes, and for instance, yesterday was kind of their Greek Olympics day for 2nd grade, and so they had the Olympics. Of course, clothing was required, unlike the Olympics back then, and then they were able to hand the awards out, and then they built the Parthenon with, just everybody was able to put on columns and things like that. It's just very hands-on. And then they talked about the Greek gods and goddesses and why all that was important for Greek history.
This is second grade, huh?
Second grade.
Wow.
Yes. And we just incorporate programs like that for our for history. History is important for us, and it's all across the world, but certainly Western civilization. And we started in the pre-K levels and move it all the way up through their senior year.
Very nice, very nice. All right. So, what is a typical, or maybe not so typical, school day for you?
For me or for the kids?
For you starting the day, getting in there, and the kids perhaps. Yeah. What does your day start like besides a lot of coffee?
Yes. So my mornings are typically phone calls and emails, just catching up. And, emails happen to come in overnight, and they're pretty steady. So I catch up with those. When I enter the building, I try to do some rounds and make sure everybody's doing well and checking in. But I get to see all the fun things. My first thing I did yesterday was that second grade classroom, and you pop in and you just watch learning happen. And one of our, also a founder, he's a board member, John Dill, talks about Merritt Academy as being a hive, a beehive. And he just says when you come in, you can just feel the buzz. Everybody's just humming, and it is absolutely true. And you see these kids in line going from pre-K to lunch, and you have the other students during passing period, and they're just very respectful and good role models for our younger students, and it's just really pretty cool to see.
That's kind of important. Just keep the energy going, keep the buzz going, keep the learning process going on these kids, so they want to continue to learn and just what's next? What do I get when I get third grade, fourth grade?
Right.
So getting a preview of everything going on. So do they address you as Miss Gwynn or Gwynn or Headmaster? I'm guessing you probably have a good rapport one-on-one with the kids for the most part, which is important too.
Yeah, some students call me Miss Gwynn because they know me more on a personal level with family connections. Others call me Dr. Pekron. Some little ones call me Mama Bear. So it just depends on who you're talking to.
Okay, because the bear is sort of the logo or your...
The bear is our mascot.
Mascot, that was the word.
It has a pretty deep meaning for me. When we moved up here, coming from New Mexico, you didn't have, obviously, bears running around in the desert too much. And so this was back in 98, and we saw a pretty significant number, and I just loved them, right? It's just something that kind of hits. And then my grandmother passed away, and the day that she passed away, I saw a bear in a tree, and I just kept thinking about her, and it was her watching us,
There you
And
go.
then when we got pregnant and we had our first, the minute we found out we were pregnant, there was a mama bear with her cub, and it happened like that almost every single time. There was always something significant, and I would see a bear, and I'm like, that's my grandmother telling me something, and so Merritt bears. That's awesome. Yes.
Good. All right, so you talked about some of your accolades being the grades and everything. Are there some other accolades you could boast about with Merritt? The success, the programs, your first-time programs, doing something no one has done before?
We have a lot of great programs. Civil Air Patrol, I think, is probably the one that's most well-known in the area, and so that's our Air Force Auxiliary, and we have, I think, maybe 70 of our students are cadets in that program, and they just learn basic Air Force practices, but they also learn quite a bit of just aviation information. With following aviation and the learning that they're doing in that instance, they are also a very critical component for the search and rescue team. And so we have several students who are very interested in that, and they learn pieces of the search and rescue. But I believe, from what I'm hearing, about 90% of the search and rescue that happens is Civil Air Patrol. It's not our Civil Air Patrol. We're still quite young, but it is the Civil Air Patrol that facilitates that search and rescue. And so they're one piece of many programs that we have. We also have a shooting club for our young ones. They start at kindergarten if they can hold a rifle or a pistol well. I think most of our grades, actually, I think our youngest might be 6 or 7. And then they grow through the high school varsity rifle team.
Okay.
And so that high school varsity rifle team is really starting to pick up as well. So those are two really cool pieces that we're bringing into the community. And when we have other programs, you have your clubs, and I think Turning Point is just starting here. We had some students who wanted to begin that program, and we've got our athletics and so
Right.
forth that are growing.
So the CAP program, that is both men and women, boys and girls,
Yes,
correct?
yes, and it's a pretty even distribution amongst them.
I know I've seen, my students that come in. I think it teaches a lot of, important attributes that the kids should be knowing, and they should just make it not just a specific class like that. It just should be a part of the curriculum, I think, and just get these kids to understand,
Yes.
how it all works. So, well, that's good. Those are, again, from what I've seen with the kids, they definitely changed. So that is a big plus for these kids to have something like that. What is one core value you hope every merit student carries into their adulthood?
That's a great question. We actually have 5 virtues, and so we're hoping that they could pick up on all 5 of those. We have goodness, friendship, responsibility, valor, and perseverance. And those are taught throughout our programs. They're not just writings on wall. They incorporate into almost every lesson that we incorporate in the school, from doing homework to being nice to a new kid, to doing what's right when it's not recognized, all of those things. We have virtues assemblies every month. Each month covers a different virtue, and it is a blast to have pre-K through 12th grade in the gym talking about our virtues, and then doing a goofy little competition for house points and so forth. But we rely heavily on our virtues, and I hope that our kids can take those with them.
Nice. What's the boldest decision you've ever had to make as a headmaster?
Starting the school.
Okay. Starting something new is always a big, yes or no, flip a coin, do I or don't I? And, what if, so, yeah, well, it
Absolutely.
seems you made the right decision with that call.
Thank
so that's
you.
a good thing. That is a really good thing. What's a recent student project that made you stop and say, wow?
That's hard.
Okay.
A lot of them make me stop and say, wow.
Nice.
From our art projects to the capstones that our seniors are working on, to the second grade event that we had yesterday. Kindergarten has their fairy tale Olympics as well. Everything that they're doing is meaningful. It's purposeful. And so just the Veterans Assembly,
Okay.
we had, you walk in and you see the little students, our School of Grammar, we call them the K through 5, singing a song to our soldiers in the stands. And
God.
those are breathtaking moments. That whole assembly for me just meant something, because it truly pulled together the school and what's meaningful for us.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Little fun time now. If you could teach one class in outer space, what would it be?
Outer space.
Wow.
Yeah? Hey, don't look at me.
Creative writing. I don't know.
Okay. Creative writing. All right. Here's another good one for you. If your leadership style was a dessert, what would it be?
Man. Let's see. Sweet and salty. So, I don't know.
I know, they're goofy questions.
They are. Apple pie a la mode.
Okay. Everybody likes apple pie, which means everyone likes your style of leadership. That's a good answer.
Yes.
If you could rename homework to make it sound fun, what would you call it?
These are hard questions.
I know. See, they're on the spot a little bit, but that's where we have some fun with this,
My son was actually renaming homework the other day, and I can't remember what he called it, but it was hilarious. I don't know.
Charlie, what do you think? What would you call it?
What was the question?
What would you rename homework to make it sound more
rename
palatable?
Rename homework. That is a good question. I would say, if you're going to rename homework, it's going to be a brain tease.
There you go.
Go and do your brain tease before you come to school.
Love it.
Something like that.
We'll use that. We'll adopt it.
We'll try. Yeah.
See how it works.
This one I know you'll like. If you had a secret lair underneath Merit Academy, what would be inside that secret lair of yours? Sort of like the Bat Cave, the Gwynn Cave.
That's right. All the secret, fun spy things, I guess. The the fancy equipment and the fast cars and the invisible cloaks.
Invisible cloaks. Okay. What's the funniest student excuse you have ever heard?
Oh,
I'm sure you probably heard many.
I actually don't hear them very much.
Okay.
That's not in my that's not at my
Steam?
level, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Lightning round. More terrifying, pop quiz or a PTA potluck?
Pop quiz.
What's the last thing you Googled?
Last thing I Googled. I don't know what the last thing I Googled was.
All right. Exactly.
I'll make something up.
Yeah.
How about how to get somewhere?
Okay. All right. Favorite writing utensil, chalk or marker?
Chalk.
Okay. Classical music or jazz?
Classical.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl, 100%.
Day planner or sticky notes?
Day planner.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. From boardrooms to classrooms, she's proof that leadership can be logical, spirited, and deeply human. She doesn't just run a school, she cultivates a movement. Gwynne, thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate your time here on Teller Time with Charlie and myself. Merritt is doing some great things. Charlie's got, a couple things to say here.
Yeah, I have to ask, before you go, and yes, thank you so much for being here. It's fascinating, but, we had a chance to talk ahead of this.
Yes.
And so one of your things I thought was really interesting was did you teach somewhere before you did this as a headmaster?
So I was a counselor at the high school.
That's what it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I coached, and I did that for several years. I left and then got my doctorate in organizational psychology, and I worked with project managers across the country, working with change management and leadership development and performance and all of those things. And then started having kids and realized, we got to pay attention to education again.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I lived in Mexico from 8th grade through my bachelor's.
Wow.
So but every chance I got, I went home to St. Louis. So every summer, every Christmas.
We still go. We still do that.
That's right.
Anyway, so one other question would be, where is Merritt located?
Where is Merritt located? In my heart? It's on...
That's a good answer.
It's on 500 East Kelly's Road.
Right.
Right in the center of town.
Yeah, because some people don't know it's there. Mm-hmm. Just like the Historical Society. Some people don't know where the museum is.
Sure.
It's by the library.
You're right.
And, I encourage you to talk to one of our board members. Her name is Pat Hislop. Every year she does a field trip thing with all second graders. Do you know that? I know of it, yes. I would love to get our second graders out there. Get you guys involved with that. I will give you her contact info. I think it'd be wonderful to have you because we make a big deal out of it. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
The kids love it, and it's a good time.
Awesome.
Again, thank you very much. I'm glad we had a chance to talk, and I'll turn it back over to Mr. Thom.
All righty. Time for a little Did You Know? Okay, did you know Colorado has 58 mountain peaks over 14,000 feet? And that's why they're called 14ers. Did you know the cheeseburger was trademarked in Denver in 1935?
Yeah? I did not.
See? I'm going to get one of you with one of these things. All right, this is a kind of a spooky one. Deep in the mountains near Woodland Park, some old-timers whisper about the slide rock bolter. Bolter, a mythical beast said to live on steep slopes that slides down to devour unsuspecting hikers, then climb back up using its powerful tail.
Yeah, I had lunch with him the other day.
My daughter's going to love that story.
There you go. All right. So that's just a little bit of Did You Know? There's always something to find out about here in Colorado. We're going to get right into our events and happenings because it is coming up in the holiday season, November and December. Lots of activities going on, lots of kid-friendly stuff. So we start with the Ice Sculpture Festival going on in Cripple Creek from the 14th of February to the 22nd. It's definitely an event to see, experience with your kids. A lot of ice, a lot of cold, a lot of colors, a lot of fun. Another good experience is the Butte Theater, which is producing Irving Berlin's White Christmas. They have nighttime shows on the weekend, and I do believe they also have matinees. Right here at the Pikes Peak Community Center, we have Christmas at the Pines, our first event, which is on December 13th from 12 to 3. We'll have Santa, we'll have a ornament decorating, we'll have cookie decorating, we'll have song, we'll have storybook time. We'll have about 5 or 6 vendors selling their crafts, doing a bunch of different things. So that will be following. That's on the 13th. On December 6th, we have Breakfast with Santa, which is the Kiwanis group at the Ute Pass Cultural Center, a big event. If you've never been to Breakfast with Santa at Kiwanis, you have to go. It starts right at 8 o'clock and I believe goes right to about 11 o'clock, but it's a free breakfast, pancakes, sausage, eggs, a bunch of different things. Follow that with the festive parade that we have, which the theme this year is Charlie Brown's Christmas. So yes, you're going to be seeing some interesting floats happening at that event. Winter Day in Memorial Park. Hot chocolate, candy cane lane, the elf scramble, where you can find elves for prizes. That's going to be held on Friday, December 2nd from 3:30 to 5:30. We have the holiday home tour sponsored by Tweeds on December 6th and December 7th. If you're interested in learning how to talk better or get your grammar going on, there is always the Toastmasters, which is held at the Woodland Park Library every Friday at 11 a.m., and that's with Tim Miller.
I'll be there.
There you go. Work on that. Okay. Bingo this month is December 11th, I believe. It is Christmas Pajama Party, and that is at the Ute Pass Cultural Center. All right, so that's sort of it for this round of Teller Time with Charlie and myself and Gwynn finishing it up. As the skies turn steel gray and the first snow teases the pines, we're reminded that every season brings its own kind of truth. Thank you for joining us in the swirl of voices, laughter, and local pride. We'll be back soon with more tales that matter, more laughter that lingers, and more reasons to love where we live. We close with, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to. Thank you again for joining us, folks. See you soon.